Buy free.
Severe thunderstorms, gusty winds, hail and flooding. How do you prepare? For the next half hour, the StormTracker 12 weather team will take you around the state and will help you get prepared for what Mother Nature may bring this weather season. Now, a StormTracker 12 weather special, severe weather.
Hello, and welcome to this year's StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special. I'm Chief Meteorologist Scott Sinkoff. Over the next half hour, we will take you through the wild and wonderful world of severe weather and how it impacts us here in north central West Virginia. Let's get down to business, and by that, we mean severe weather. North central West Virginia has been seeing a lack of severe weather as of late. Severe weather can be described as strong thunderstorms with flooding rains, lightning, 57 mile per hour or greater wind gusts, quarter-size hail or bigger, or even a tornado. According to the National Weather Service, our communities see anywhere from 5 to 10 severe thunderstorm warnings every single year during the severe weather season, which lasts from February through November across Appalachia. Last year, the majority of the counties within north central West Virginia saw 10 severe thunderstorm warnings or less throughout 2020, with a total of 280 for the entire state, which is below average over the past 30 years. There were also no tornado warnings issued last year across the region. But when those thunderstorms turn strong or even severe, we could see two different kinds of alerts: watches and warnings. A severe thunderstorm watch or tornado watch occurs when things start coming together for severe weather. Conditions such as heat, moisture, wind are in place for severe weather to potentially come into our area. If this is the case, have a plan ready if a severe thunderstorm or tornado threatens your area, as we keep watching for the latest and most updated information. A severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning occurs when the severe weather event is occurring, imminent, or likely. These warnings are set off when wind gusts are at 57 miles per hour or greater, hail is reported to be at or larger than 1 inch in diameter or the size of a quarter, or a tornado was either indicated by radar or confirmed on the ground. If this does happen to occur, make sure to put your plan in action to protect yourself and your family and friends. And if you are caught in those severe thunderstorms, reports of hail, wind, flooding, and tornadoes help out not just the StormTracker 12 weather team, but also our community across the Mountain State. StormTracker 12 meteorologist Casey Herman explains how you can learn how to report severe weather as a Skywarn spotter.
In March and April, your local National Weather Service office will conduct multiple weather spotter classes.
If you have an interest in weather, it's a great class to really learn a little bit more without, taking a lot of your time, and ability to really help your community out.
Each spotter class is about 2 hours long in total, where you are learning about weather and how to report it.
And a storm spotting class gives people the ability and equip them to report severe weather to the National Weather Service for hail, strong winds, tornadoes, flash floods.
Shelf clouds, wall clouds, these are all things that spotters can look at and get a good idea about what weather's coming. But there's a lot of lookalikes as well, some scary looking clouds that make people think it's a funnel cloud or tornado, so we go over that.
Although this class gives you the ability to identify and report weather events, the #1 priority is safety.
It takes 10 minutes to get a report of a tornado because that person's getting to a safe place. That's fine with us. So
we don't encourage storm chasing. We just tell people how to report safely to the National Weather Service, and their safety is first and foremost.
Even if not a spotter, it is so important to report what you're seeing to the National Weather Service, which in turn helps them issue watches and warnings.
A phone call, a 1-800 number that spotters can call, and that's for life-threatening events like that, that's the best way. But we also offer a web form. We have an app. Social media is big. People always report Facebook and Twitter on there. And we have an email too. So we have a lot of different ways folks can get their information to us.
Reporting what you are seeing will ultimately save lives.
It's technology at the National Weather Service, but really nothing beats the boots on the ground.
We rely on radar essentially for warning for severe weather, but especially farther away from our radar, like northern West Virginia, really in between the radars, we rely on spotters to really tell us the ground truth information.
Although no more live online classes are planned for this year, you can take the class anytime online on the National Weather Service's website. For more information, you can contact your local National Weather Service office either in Pittsburgh, Charleston, or in Sterling, Virginia. During any form of severe weather, residents should follow their safety measures that are provided by their counties and their emergency managers. StormTracker 12 weather forecaster Alicia Hatcher takes a deeper look into what West Virginians should do and have on hand in the case of a bad thunderstorm.
Severe weather can happen at any time.
It can be a sunny day and all of a sudden it cloud up and boom, it starts raining and thundering.
That's why you should never be caught off guard and prepare for a storm beforehand.
Make sure you have a safe place to go, that you know when the water gets to a certain level that you need to go now. Don't wait until you need to be rescued.
Next, make sure to have an emergency preparedness kit in your car and home.
Anything that you would need. So what is your normal day? And try to put that in a kit.
It could be placed in something as simple as a book bag or a small tote.
You want to make sure you have enough food and water for each person in the family, including the pets at home.
You can add in items such as cans of SpaghettiOs, ravioli, granola bars, and more.
For cell phones, you want to make sure you have a battery-powered cell phone charger or a car charger in the event that you're without power for a while. You know, we're not going to be able to charge those cell phones if the power is down. They'll want to keep their refrigerators closed and their freezers closed to preserve food.
Both emergency managers recommend residents check out FEMA or ready.gov to build a preparedness kit.
There's nice little checklists for you to put together. So for an emergency car kit, for a home 72-hour kit, so you don't even have to think about it.
For 12 News, I'm Alicia Hatcher.
Thanks, Alicia. Coming up next on the 2021 StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special, we talk about two different kinds of severe weather and how you can be safe when they strike here in north central West Virginia. That's coming up next, right here on the StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special.
Follow Snowbird through all weather on WBOY. Brought to you by Wilson Martino Dental.
At North Central Building Solutions, your project is our passion. Call today to schedule your free estimate and inspection.
Did you know even small storms can cause big damage to your roof without you noticing? Don't wait till it's too late. Our storm restoration specialists do same-day inspections.
Traumatic brain injuries caused by car wrecks are much more common than you think. Untreated brain injuries could lead to a dangerous health risk. We provide a checklist that helps you identify the common symptoms. Go to MileyLegal.com and get the tiger on your side.
Change. It's part of our world. Inspired by the love of Christ, 100 years ago, the Palatine Sisters brought quality health care to our community and changed our lives forever. Since then, St. Joseph's Hospital has innovated, progressed, transformed to provide the best medical care now and for future generations. This is St. Joseph's Hospital, embracing change for 100 years and for years to come.
If you're a motivated individual who feels maybe like you're stuck in a dead-end job and you don't have a future, even if we aren't hiring, we will find a spot for you. We will make sure that you get the training, the tools, the instruction, and everything that you need to be successful and make a great living for you and your family. We want to see you be successful. We want to see you achieve more than you ever thought that you could possibly achieve, and we want to teach you a trade. Our goal is to offer you a career, not just a job.
How much does it cost to hire the Miley Legal Group? That's one of the most common questions I get. Don't worry, here at the Miley Legal Group, you don't have to pay us a penny unless we recover for you. That's our guarantee. Get the tiger on your side.
At North Central Building Solutions, your project is our passion. Call today to schedule your free estimate and inspection.
Did you know even small storms can cause big damage to your roof without you noticing? Don't wait till it's too late. Our storm restoration specialists do same-day inspections.
Welcome back to the StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special. Now, we're switching gears to something wet in the wild and wonderful, flooding. Flooding is one of the deadliest forms of weather across the state of West Virginia. Flooding occurs when high amounts of precipitation overwhelm the capacity of streams and our river systems. Our mountainous terrain enhances the flooding risk throughout the state because of thousands of hills and low-lying water crossings not being able to hold heavy rain in a short amount of time. Flooding also happens quite frequently in urban areas, such as Morgantown, Fairmont, Clarksburg, and Elkins. When heavy rain overwhelms those sewer and drainage systems along the roadways, they cause ponding. It will also likely fill and disguise the many potholes and make it more difficult to drive at night here in the Mountain State due to it being more difficult to see. And flooding kills more people than any other weather event, and the Mountain State is not an exception and is no stranger to that flooding. Meteorologist Casey Herman talks about why flooding is our region's biggest threat and how that we can properly prepare.
Living in the state of West Virginia, residents are aware of the potential and danger of flooding.
You know, a lot of our communities, of course, were formed around logging and coal, which demanded rivers, so a lot of our communities are close to water areas. Of course, you know, we are in a very mountainous terrain, which makes drainage basins and things such as that.
There's a few different types of flooding: river flooding, flash flooding, and flooding due to snow melt.
This time of year, with you know, April, May, you always have a lot of heavy rain events. I believe some of our top 7 floods were in the months of February, March, and April in Tucker County.
No matter how the flooding occurs, the most important thing is to be prepared before it comes.
Part of our job is preparedness, you know, making sure our community is prepared for events such as floods. We always remind our residents, and this is something that we push out many times throughout the year, be it social media, newspaper, thing like that. You should be prepared for 72 hours of self-sustainability at all times.
Having a safety kit filled with items you may need in case of emergency.
We push out a lot of stuff from FEMA or from WV.gov. They have preparedness kits that basically a list of stuff that they should have and maintain. And a lot of it is universal. It would work for flooding events, snowstorms, power outages.
Make sure to stay up to date with the latest information and report what you are seeing.
Obviously, being vigilant, you know, watching the weather, watching the type of event that is unfolding. Of course, always, you know, we keep pushing out information during those events. If they feel in danger, reach out to responders, to authorities, and we can always come down, check out their situation.
And again, prepare, prepare, prepare.
I can't stress enough about the 72-hour preparedness. We really try to push that a lot, and you know, I think it really helps in our communities.
And for up-to-date information on the flooding, rains, and how you can best prepare for the flooding, you can download our StormTracker 12 app and follow us on our website, WBOY.com. Now to another weather phenomena, lightning. As a thunderstorm moves over the ground, the strong negative charge in the storm cloud attracts positive charges in the ground. These positive charges move up into the tallest objects like trees, power lines, telephone poles, and houses. Lightning could cause downed tree limbs and trees, power outages, and road blockages here in the Mountain State, especially in rural areas, for a number of days. Now, lightning can even impact events where we socialize or watch our favorite teams that take the field, and that means that severe weather can strike anywhere at any time, even during a Mountaineer football game. Meteorologist Dylan Godet takes us back 10 years to when an in-state rivalry was cut short due to severe weather.
On September 4th, 2011, lightning and severe weather delayed the football game between West Virginia University and Marshall University not once but twice before the game was called during the fourth quarter. Evacuating a stadium full of 60,000 people was challenging, but Associate Athletic Director for Facilities and Operations at West Virginia University, April Messerly, says that though it took some time to get people out of harm's way, that everyone was able to stay safe.
It was a unique situation because there was lightning in the area. There was not any rain yet. And so until the skies essentially opened and that downpour came, people were really slow moving, right? But we were able to get everybody safely evacuated. I remember there were reports that lightning had hit the stadium, which were completely false.
Thankfully, since that game almost 10 years ago, large athletic events at WVU haven't been impacted to the degree that university officials faced that day. Several lessons, both large and small, were learned by the university, including fixing a concourse public address system issue.
While everyone had evacuated to the concourse, they were listening to our radio broadcast, and they couldn't hear the announcements that we were making in the stadium. Okay, folks, we still have 20 minutes in the delay, etc. It was really hard for them to hear that. So one thing is literally a switch of a button, and us being able to switch over and put that PA on the concourse so people could hear it.
When preparing for football game day, West Virginia University administrators are in contact with the National Weather Service office in Pittsburgh, beginning with the morning of 2 days before the event. The university actually holds a certification as a storm-ready campus, which ensures the institution is prepared to deal with extreme weather events. Messerly's message to fans traveling to not only WVU football games but any university athletic event is that safety of the fans and athletes is their #1 priority.
We always want people to feel safe and want to come to our venues and do that in the safest way possible. We want to put on a great experience for our student athletes as well, but they have to be safe too.
To ensure that you are safe when attending WVU athletic events, be alert for any warning messages being relayed to you, whether it's on the Jumbotron, through the PA system, or even on your phone. Reporting for the StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special, I'm Dylan Goday.
Thanks, Dylan. One part of being outdoors is dealing with a gusty breeze. Those strong winds can bring down tree limbs and dead trees and then impact thousands of West Virginians. StormTracker 12 weather forecaster Alicia Hatcher has more.
Mon Power has a tree trimming program that will help trim trees and clear vegetation along 5,700 miles of power lines in West Virginia.
That's one of the most effective ways that we can prevent power outages and reduce the frequency and duration of those outages, just by making sure that we prune back the vegetation and trees along our power lines.
When the vegetation comes in contact with the equipment, it can cause power outages in a significant way.
There's a lot of trees, a lot of mountainous areas, and with heavily wooded areas. So it's really important that we get out there and do that.
Mon Power has been doing this on a 4-year cycle since about 2015, making 2021 the start of the new 4-year cycle.
So that means we will touch every mile of power line in West Virginia in our service territory over those 4 years. So by the end of 4 years, we will have trimmed around every power line in our service territory.
Mon Power encourages their customers to let them know about trees that are leaning or could be a threat to power lines in their area.
You can get out there and evaluate the problem and trim it, or in some cases, if it's a dead or diseased tree, we'll remove it so that it's not going to fall on our power lines or equipment and damage them.
Boyer explains the tree trimming program is the best way to address power outages.
Severe weather events bring down a lot of limbs and trees, and we want to get out there and be proactive and do what we can to mitigate that.
For 12 News, I'm Alicia Hatcher.
And to find out more information about Mon Power's tree trimming program and to see if your area does indeed qualify, we'll have more information on our website, WBOY.com, and on the StormTracker 12 weather app on your Android and Apple devices. Coming up next on the StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special, we take a look at some lightning. We'll let you know how you can be safe while outdoors when severe weather strikes. Those details coming up next in the 2021 StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special.
At North Central Building Solutions, your project is our passion. Call today to schedule your free estimate and inspection.
Did you know even small storms can cause big damage to your roof without you noticing? Don't wait till it's too late. Our storm restoration specialists do same-day inspections.
So, what can we do for you today, counselor?
My client has been seriously injured, and I'm here to discuss settlement.
Oh, sorry, but as we always say, no pay.
Is that right? Don't fight the insurance company alone. The Miley Legal Group will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Visit MileyLegal.com today and get the tiger on your side.
Change. It's part of our world. Inspired by the love of Christ, 100 years ago, the Palatine Sisters brought quality health care to our community and changed our lives forever. Since then, St. Joseph's Hospital has innovated, progressed, transformed to provide the best medical care now and for future generations. This is St. Joseph's Hospital, embracing change for 100 years and for years to come.
If you're a motivated individual who feels maybe like you're stuck in a dead-end job and you don't have a future, even if we aren't hiring, we will find a spot for you. We will make sure that you get the training, the tools, the instruction, and everything that you need to be successful and make a great living for you and your family. We want to see you be successful. We want to see you achieve more than you ever thought that you could possibly achieve, and we want to teach you a trade. Our goal is to offer you a career, not just a job.
At North Central Building Solutions, your project is our passion. Call today to schedule your free estimate and inspection.
Did you know even small storms can cause big damage to your roof without you noticing? Don't wait till it's too late. Our storm restoration specialists do same-day inspections.
Welcome back to the 2021 StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special. I'm Chief Meteorologist Scott Senkoff. As we get closer to the summer months, two things are likely to happen. More people will be heading outside, and our chances of seeing thunderstorms increases greatly. Meteorologist Dylan Godet has details on how you can stay out of harm's way this summer.
Outdoor recreation is what North Central West Virginia is best known for, from hiking across their area mountains to boating and swimming across their area lakes and rivers. But how can you stay safe from thunderstorms? The first step is to check out the StormTracker 12 forecast before you head out. In days that thunderstorms are in the forecast, we will give you that risk hours and sometimes days in advance. This will help plan your outdoor activities. Our app will also even alert you when lightning is within 15 miles. The next step is when you hear thunder roar, get indoors. If you're in a boat, get to shore quickly and get into the safety of your vehicle or a sturdy shelter. If you're hiking and too far away from proper shelter, stay away from water, tall trees, and power lines. This will lessen your chance of being struck by lightning until you find a sturdy shelter. Even before you hear thunder, be on the lookout for tall, billowing cumulus clouds. That'll be a great way to spot any thunderstorms in your area. Now, maybe you're in a park, like the Clarksburg City Park here in Nutter Fort. You may think a pavilion, like the one here behind me, makes for a good shelter, but that is not the case. You want to find a sturdy structure with 4 walls, a roof above your head, and a floor beneath your feet. Or you can head to your car to ensure that you are safe. If you follow these safety tips this summer when you're out across North Central West Virginia, this will keep you and your family safe. For the StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special, I'm Dylan Godet.
Thanks, Dylan. When we return after these messages, we'll dive into how severe weather impacts power outages here in the Mountain State. Details on that coming up right here in the 2021 StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special. Don't go anywhere.
At North Central Building Solutions, your project is our passion. Call today to schedule your free estimate and inspection.
Did you know even small storms can cause big damage to your roof without you noticing? Don't wait till it's too late. Our storm restoration specialists do same-day inspections.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, you will experience a lot of red tape with your claim. Visit MileyLegal.com to find the answers you need. We'll help you cut through the red tape and get you back on your feet. Visit MileyLegal.com and get the tiger on your side.
If you're a motivated individual who feels maybe like you're stuck in a dead-end job and you don't have a future, even if we aren't hiring, we will find a spot for you. We will make sure that you get the training, the tools, the instruction, and everything that you need to be successful and make a great living for you and your family. We want to see you be successful. We want to see you achieve more than you ever thought that you could possibly achieve, and we want to teach you a trade. Our goal is to offer you a career, not just a job.
Change. It's part of our world. Inspired by the love of Christ, 100 years ago, the Palatine Sisters brought quality health care to our community and changed our lives forever. Since then, St. Joseph's Hospital has innovated, progressed, transformed to provide the best medical care now and for future generations. This is St. Joseph's Hospital, embracing change for 100 years and for years to come.
An injury happens in an instant, but the suffering can last a lifetime. All too often, children are innocent victims. If your child has been injured, visit MileyLegal.com. We'll focus on your claim so you can focus on your child. Get the tiger on your side.
At North Central Building Solutions, your project is our passion. Call today to schedule your free estimate and inspection.
Did you know even small storms can cause big damage to your roof without you noticing? Don't wait till it's too late. Our storm restoration specialists do same-day inspections.
Welcome back to the Storm Tracker 12 Severe Weather Special. I'm Chief Meteorologist Scott Sinkoff. Severe weather is the major component for power outages here in the Mountain State. Alicia Hatcher has more information on how they occur and the impact that they bring during this time.
During severe weather events like windstorms, thunderstorms, snow and ice, the result is we have fallen limbs and trees that come into contact with our power lines and equipment and damage our power lines and equipment.
Mon Power has an internal system that tracks power outages across their service areas, but encourage customers to notify them as well.
We do have a pretty robust system that tracks outages and lets us know county by county what the number of outages are, and that way we can deploy resources quickly to restore power as safely and quickly as possible.
People can prepare by staying updated with our StormTracker 12 weather app and keeping up with watches and warnings.
They can make sure that they have flashlights stocked up. If they have a well system, they want to have a good supply of bottled water. They want to have some non-perishable food items in case their electricity is out for a little while and they don't have access to a stove.
For 12 News, I'm Alicia Hatcher.
Thanks, Alicia. And before we go, we here at WBOY 12 News want you to be as knowledgeable as humanly possible while out and about across the Mountain State during the severe weather season. And that means knowing where to get the most updated information. The most important thing that you can do during any severe weather situation is to know what's coming with the severe weather so that you and your family are as safe as humanly possible. The first place you can go is to the StormTracker 12 weather app, where you can check the forecast before you head out the door or into your storm shelter. The app is free and is available for download on your Apple and Android devices. Make sure to view the radar, check the alert tab for the latest severe weather alerts, and set your location on the app to get weather alerts tailored to your specific area. Another option is to obtain a battery-operated NOAA weather radio. Once set to the correct frequency for your area, you could hear the latest weather alerts and anything that you need to know for where you are. You can also keep tabs on the latest StormTracker 12 Facebook and Twitter information on those pages, as well as on WBOY.com for the most up-to-date information. And that's all we have for this year's 2021 StormTracker 12 Severe Weather Special. All of the stories with more in-depth information will be posted on our website, WBOY.com. And for the latest information, please remember to download the StormTracker 12 weather app. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and on WBOY.com. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.
Follow Snow